Hi there, you're with Simon here at English Coach, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about your laziness. Now, the first thing that appears or the first thing that comes in as relevant when you feel laziness is actually that it's almost separate from yourself. It's almost something that is so irrelevant to your dreams and your goals that it's separated itself from yourself, and it's there as this kind of wise counsel at the back of your mind, and it's telling you as if a separate entity that you don't need to do those things because of certain reasons or certain motives, so you can relax, you can take the time off for yourself now and forget about work for the meanwhile, or you don't have to take the next step. You can wait till tomorrow or next week to take the next step. And usually this is a kind of feeling that people can get either in their stomach when they feel like they don't feel quite comfortable about taking the next step, or at the back of the neck here. And what we've been calling it today is the sloth slug. The sloth slug, which is like the laziness slug. And it's something that fits into the pit of your stomach or the back of your neck, as if it's kind of there sucking on your vital energies. Now, it's quite interesting or amazing because people's first instinct is to kind of fight that. They kind of fight that sloth slug and say, hang on a second, you shouldn't exist. I have important things to do. I'm not going to listen to you. This is just, what a stupid excuse. I'm not going to listen. But over time, you do listen. And over time, when you deny the sloth slug, it wins over you. So me and a friend, we sat down, we did a little bit of coaching, and we talked about the fact that sometimes what you need to do to beat the sloth slug is to be able to first acknowledge that it's there. Acknowledge that in everybody there is some kind of laziness there feeding into your system somehow. When you've got excuses, when you don't really want to do something, but you know it's going to change your life over the long term. In the short term, not really. Most of the things change nothing, and you don't see the results fast enough. And that's how the sloth slug wins, because it tells you and it reinforces that idea of, so if this is so good, where are the results? Please, can we take a rest now? Please, can we stop doing this now? And so the sloth slug often wins, and it especially wins when you're on autopilot, when you're not thinking or you're not aware of your surroundings, and you're feeling like, okay, everything's okay, I'm doing a pretty good job. Maybe I'll take a rest now. When you're not actually through with your whatever you're trying to achieve in that time. So you need to admit that the sloth slug is part of you. Yes, it's ugly. Yes, it's a little dark. Yes, you need to acknowledge and say, hey, listen, you're part of me. Come here. Let me try to negotiate with you. This desire is so important for me. And because I'd like to rest in the future sometime, I don't want to be working every day, 20 hours a day, right now until the age of 50 or 60. I want to be able to bring down that so that I can help you, sloth slug, more, so that I can take more holidays, lie down more when I'm older. Doesn't that sound like a good deal? Well, maybe your sloth slug says, no, that's crazy. We need to find as much time to rest right now as possible. Well, you say, well, tell you what, I'll make you a bargain. I have such great desires to work less and reduce my workload in the next 5 to 10 years. Would you at least accept relaxing a little bit more in the weekend instead of taking up the week time, which is productive time, which is important time to get things done? Would you do that with me? Can we make that negotiation? And it's going to look crazy because you're speaking to yourself. You're kind of negotiating to yourself. It's two parts of you: your lazy side and your motivated dream side. The part of you that's looking ahead 5 years or ahead 10 years and judging what it's going to take for you not to have to work so much in the future by putting in the hours and by putting in the education and by putting in the effort now. So the idea of the sloth slug is to be happy with it, make your peace with it, but communicate it with it in a negotiating way so it can actually be something real instead of you don't exist, I don't care what that feels like or what you're trying to tell me, I don't care. And then in a week's time, you're doing everything that the sloth slug put to you because you didn't make that negotiation with yourself or with the sloth slug. So you may think this is a little weird, a little strange, this idea of the sloth slug, but I want to guarantee you that it is a thing. There is such a thing as a laziness entity within each one of us. And how we manage this and how we understand this, well, it's very important. So please take what I'm saying today. Think about something you don't want to do tomorrow. Some job or some task that you're not 100% inspired or motivated to do, and really try to get out the sloth slug, work at getting it out, and then looking at it and saying, wow, you are ugly and you are trying to hold up my life, but you are also me and you're also beautiful because I am beautiful. And then talk to that sloth slug, that laziness, and say, let's make a deal, let's set it right. Let me have productivity for these days. You can have some time in the weekend. I'm going to let you be the king in the weekend or on Sunday or whatever you agree with your sloth slug on. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a little crazy. It is a little, splitting up the personalities within ourselves. Usually there are always many parts to us. In coaching they talk about a self one, which is logical, rational, and all about facts and statistics and about criticizing the world and judging everything around you and being able to identify with form and structure. And then you have self two, which is all about the emotions and how the emotions inspire you or motivate you or get you down or pick you up, and creativity and the ideas and the wonderful things that you can think of and imagine that inspire you, and this kind of thing. So you have self one and self two. In this case, I'm talking about like the motivated side of you and the lazy side. That's the part that I'm speaking to you today about, and I'd like you to consider that both parts of you exist and that you need to acknowledge both parts for you to be more productive during the week and relax more during your weekend. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, stick a comment there, okay? And see you next time on English Coach. Thanks a lot.